Hey guys, this is Booligan with Airsoft Retreat, BooliganAirsoft.com, and Airsoft Insider Magazine. You may remember a few months ago we did a brief video shooting test on this, the ASG CZ Scorpion EVO 3A1. This mouthful of a gun is probably one of the more technologically advanced and well-manufactured AEGs that I have ever tested. Coming out of ASG's Denmark factory, this thing is a licensed replica of the real CZ EVO 3A1 Scorpion, and has been a bit of a pet project for ASG for quite a while now. We did a full review of this thing in the latest issue of Airsoft Insider Magazine, and we have a review of it that we are putting up on Booligan Airsoft and Airsoft Retreat as well. But we figured, hey, let's go ahead and let's give you a full video overview to discuss some of the features of this gun and why it might be the right gun for you. First thing that you'll notice, it is pretty small. It's technically it's a submachine gun class airsoft gun, featuring a side folding stock. It locks in place, and the stock is also adjustable for length of pull. The stock can also be removed by pressing this guy in at the back here and sliding it forward, and the gun is still fully usable if you feel like running ultra cool John Woo style without a stock on there. You have a full polymer body on this thing, but the polymer isn't like your typical cheap airsoft gun plastic. It is a fiber reinforced polymer that is apparently the same material as the real Scorpion submachine gun. So it's got that going for it, which is nice. You have pretty much fully ambidextrous controls. You've got selector switches located on both sides and a magazine release located just forward of the trigger guard, so it's easily able to be manipulated by right or left-handed users. The only part of this that's not ambidextrous is the bolt release, and that becomes important because this has a bolt, or it has an empty magazine deactivation system. So when you run out of BBs, the gun stops firing until you put a fresh mag in, hit the bolt catch, and you're good to go. The gun does not have blowback, so, however, the bolt catch is functional. So you pull back the charging handle, which can be switched to either side, and the bolt will stay back. You'll notice my battery located up there. Press that bolt catch and it slides forward. Now, the charging handle can be switched from side to side, and you must take off the handguard to install the battery. Your battery space is pretty limited. Right now, I'm fitting a 7.4 volt LiPo battery up top, but the recommended battery is an 11.1 volt 3-cell with 2 cells up there and 1 cell up front. Now, one of the cons of this gun, not necessarily a con, but something that I noticed in my testing, it will destroy LiPo batteries if you leave them in for too long without using the gun. This uses an electronic trigger system designed, or manufactured, I believe, by Airsoft Systems, maker of the ASCU. And the thing is constantly monitoring, and because of that, it's constantly draining on a battery. So I happen to leave the testing LiPo in, let's call it close as overnight as counts, and yeah, it nuked it, killed the battery. Battery's no good, won't take a charge anymore, dropped it down to like 5 volts. I'm kind of lucky it didn't do worse. So after you are done playing with the gun, you need to take that battery out. That is very, very important. Performance-wise, the gun's shooting about 395 feet per second, and it uses it's either hand or tool adjustable hop-up system to get very, very good accuracy and range out of a tiny, tiny barrel. I was easily putting rounds on my torso-sized target using ASG Devil BBs out to about 175 feet, which is pretty astounding for something that's this size. You have several fire modes. You have single shot, 3-shot burst, and full auto. This is empty, so we will go ahead and we'll just dry fire it. And keep in mind, this is with the 7.4 volt LiPo, so the output is not going to be great. It's not going to have a great rate of fire with this. With an 11.1 volt, it comes in right at 20 rounds per second. On semi, on burst mode, it seems to be skipping a shot with this low battery, but I've never had that problem with an 11.1 volt. And then a full auto, the thing works fine. Now, the gearbox of this is a custom design. It is made of aluminum and then is CNC machined. The thing is very, very nice. It's a very nicely done gearbox, and it's a custom design to fit inside this gun. But accessing it is still relatively easy. You've got to take a lot of screws out, and then the upper receiver clamshells, the bottom receiver slides off. The gearbox itself is fitted with largely version 2 components. There's no anti-reversal latch in it. It's negated by the ASC, or the Airsoft Systems designed trigger system. And it does a fantastic job, so you don't have to worry about your spring decompressing. The thing will always stop at just the right point. The biggest, I don't know if it's necessarily a con, but the biggest hurdle with this thing is its cost. It's about $450. Now, what you're paying for is you're paying for years of research and development, a fully new design, high quality materials, and the thing is made in Denmark. It's not made in a sweatshop in China. So, I mean, you're paying for these things. This is where that cost is going. But absolutely, the price of admission to this thing is pretty high, and that will keep it out of the hands of most airsofters, unfortunately. But for those of you guys with some deep pockets and you want an extremely high quality airsoft replica that's different than all of the normal M4s and stuff that are out there in the field, this is something that you should absolutely consider. Be sure to check out the full review in issue 6 of Airsoft Insider Magazine, as well as on Airsoft Retreat and BooliganAirsoft.com, and as always, thanks for watching.